Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about XRP. I'm going to talk about other things going on around crypto as well and some real world events. Senator Elizabeth Warren honored Satoshi Nakamoto for the 15th anniversary of the network's launch with a commemorative flag flown over the United States Capitol. When I first read this, I thought this was fake news. Only 1 week before Warren ordered the flag flown, the senator introduced legislation to give the Treasury more tools to restrict the criminal usage of Bitcoin, making bold comments that they need new laws to crack down on crypto's use in enabling terrorist groups, rogue nations, drug lords, ransomware gangs, and fraudsters to launder billions in stolen funds, evade sanctions, fund illegal weapons programs, and profit from devastating cyber attacks. Wow, she is tying crypto to a hell of a lot of shit, let me tell you. So why all of a sudden is she becoming pro-crypto? I'll tell you why in a moment. But the Treasury even points out that they cannot have been clearer when it comes to illicit finance. Cash is king. Take a listen.
Just yesterday, here in this room, Undersecretary Nelson testified that bad actors still prefer to use traditional finance rather than digital assets. He also confirmed prior reports that successful international collaboration with Israeli law enforcement had limited Hamas's use of digital assets ahead of the attack against Israel.
And they all know they're not using crypto. They are using cash. But I think she's becoming pro-crypto now all of a sudden because of this right here. John Dean, founder of Crypto Law and a prominent attorney in the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit, is reportedly considering running as a Republican against crypto critic Senator Elizabeth Warren in the 2024 U.S. Senate elections in Massachusetts. So most likely she's afraid of Johnny Dean because she knows that people are now becoming enthusiastic about crypto. There's people in the United States every single day looking to hedge against inflation. A lot of them are turning to crypto, and she doesn't want to lose her seat. And you know, you could tell how fake someone is when they're so anti-crypto, and all of a sudden, because somebody threatens their job, right away they got to become pro-crypto again. It's all one big charade. Nucleus to acquire Mercury Global to enhance cross-border payments offerings. Mercury Global is a Ripple partner. Like I said, partners are out there even making acquisitions as well, building out and growing at the same time. And Nucleus most likely will start to utilize RippleNet as well, and XRP once the acquisition is done. Then there's this, Citibank, Medico, and Ripple. Citibank will utilize Medico's harmonized platform for digital asset custody and developing new capabilities. You know what they want to do with Medico and Ripple? They probably want to fix the back end. Like I said, on the front end, you know, Citi and MasterCard and Visa, it all looks incredible. But then once you get to the back end, it's all running on that outdated Swift system. They're looking for something better. They're going to find it with RippleNet and XRP. Take a listen to this, the end game for XRP, coming from Link2.
So, if you haven't seen, I encourage you to go take a look. And clearly now you can see the free products that they now offer. Cross-border payments, CBDCs, and the liquidity hub. So in your opinions, what's the most exciting out of those free products and why? And Jared, I'll come to you.
You said the liquidity, the CBCD, what was the
cross-border payments, CBDCs, and the liquidity hub.
They're all incredibly important. I mean, I got into it for cross-border payments. I mean, I think it's excess of $500 billion a year, 9.5% average fee. It's pretty horrendous, and it impacts the poorest people the most. Guy comes up, makes $300, sends it back to his family in Ecuador, and Western Union takes $20 out of it. It's ridiculous. As far as everything else, I think the biggest impact would be the national currencies. I mean, if you're talking about a country backing something, you know, as far as adding liquidity to XRP, which would come from that, if you have nation states potentially adopting and building on the Ripple platform, I mean, we don't even have to talk numbers. Everybody just knows that's so ridiculously huge. It's hard to imagine, and it kind of becomes a de facto global currency at that point. If your XRP is acting as kind of a transfer medium, I don't see how that would do anything other than absolutely dwarf companies like Apple and just make it the biggest thing on the planet. Forget about Nirvana. Nobody be.
Take notice how he referenced Nirvana and Ripple. He said that's how big Ripple can become. But he talked about XRP being a global currency. I looked at it as a bridge currency all along. I still think it's going to be a bridge currency in the future. But they talk about how huge it's going to be and how much of an impact it's going to make when you're talking about developing countries, people working abroad and sending money home. They don't want to pay high fees anymore. They all want the same thing: fast, cheap, and secure. And that's what Ripple brings to the table. It's all part of leveling the playing field and banking the unbanked. Stellar's doing the same thing as well. And I think we're starting to see it all come together now. And that's why I said, when you talk about XRP, don't focus on the price. Focus on the use case and the utility. To really put into perspective where we are at in the adoption phase of crypto, mass adoption of crypto in the retail market started last autumn, not before and not after. Just a few months into mass adoption, ETFs out of the way, now for the crypto-based apps that will reach billions. And you could see mass adoption happening in real time. Look at how enthusiastic all these big corporations are becoming around crypto. We're starting to see the big financial institutions get involved with crypto now. We're going to also see mass adoption happen at a retail level. I'm talking inside of payments, where people are buying things utilizing blockchain and not even knowing it. And I think that's going to start to happen in 2024 as well. US banks left off-key Bitcoin ETF roles are pushing SEC to tweak guidance around holding digital assets. A bank trade GP coalition sent SEC letter asking them exclude ETFs from broad crypto umbrella. They want a piece of the action. I don't blame them. It isn't fair. The banks want to get involved with crypto. The problem is that they're too worried about the SEC and these anti-crypto politicians. Once they're out of the way, watch how fast the banks get involved with crypto in the US. I think it's the one thing that's going to save them from the coming liquidity crisis. And that liquidity crisis is right around the corner. Jeff Bezos sells another $2 billion worth of Amazon stock with a total of 6 billion Amazon shares sold over the last week. A lot of people are worried about this. They said Bezos knows something's coming and he's cashing out into US dollars. I don't think Bezos is cashing out into USD. Maybe he's selling off to buy something big. I don't think he would ever cash his money into US dollars though. He knows what's coming. Banking crisis, financial crash timed around the 11th of March, 2024. The Federal Reserve Board on Wednesday announced that the Bank Term Funding Program will cease making new loans as scheduled on March 11th. I think once that stops, I think we will see the first steps of the banking collapse happening. It most likely will be a handful of small banks, and they'll get consolidated into the bigger banks. That's what I see coming next. Crisis in American banking sends jitters across Europe's banking sector, increasing risk of bank defaults. Everyone around the world sees what's coming now, and it's all leading back to the United States as well. And this, when it happens, it's going to happen very fast. And I think a lot of people are going to end up losing their money. I think we could also see bail-ins this year as well, instead of bailouts. Because I don't think the U.S. is in position to bail out the banks at this point. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen says Americans are better off today than before the pandemic because wages have gone up. Take a listen.
Are you and President Biden happy with where inflation is right now?
Well, look, we know that Americans are experiencing discomfort because some important prices are higher than they were pre-pandemic. But what I think is really important is that wages have gone up along with prices, so people are better off than they were pre-pandemic.
Most people would not agree with that at all. In fact, a lot of people in the United States are still struggling. And if wages are up to match inflation, then why are people working 2 and 3 jobs? You know what it is? This lady's rich. She keeps enriching herself more and more along the way. She does not relate to the average working person at all. And in her opinion, everything's doing better, when we all know it's not. She's the same person telling you you need to park your money inside the banks. The banks are safe. Store your money there. Yet we all know a banking crisis is coming as well. You know, they want to wipe you out. That's what it comes down to. It's the same reason they don't want you holding crypto. They know crypto can save you from what's coming, especially this year, because we know that a massive run-up is coming as well. A lot of people are going to get very rich off of crypto. They don't want to see that happen. They would rather see you get swallowed up as the banks start to collapse out. And that's why I always tell people, when I first talk to them, I'm talking about the normies out there, the people that aren't invested in crypto. I always tell them, do you honestly believe that the banks are safe? And believe it or not, most of them believe the bank isn't safe, but they don't know where else to put their money. And I tell them, if you don't like crypto, put some money in gold and silver. We're going to see that get reevaluated as well. And who knows what's going to happen with that US Treasury dollar next year. That could be life-changing in itself. Honestly, that could be where we see a massive transition of wealth happen. We could see a new 1% rise because of that. And XRP holders, they're going to get rich either way. No matter how this plays out, it plays out in our favor. And that's why I'm always telling people, you know, don't get discouraged now. You're almost there. You're almost at the finish line. It's in sight now. Just stay patient, you know, because I want to get you there. I want to get there with you. And, you know, when you look at these politicians talk on TV, they never tell you the important stuff that they're planning, like CBDCs. They never tell you about the BRICS coming for the US dollar. They want you to be in the dark all along the way until something major happens. And then when it does, they're going to tell you, oh, well, we have a way to fix it now, as they scramble to find something. But we all know what fixes it. It's XRP, the digital asset we all hold. So until it all happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.